We are taught from the very beginning that the world is divided into parts. You and me, mind and matter, inner and outer, subject and object. We're told that what happens out there is independent of what happens in here. But what if that's the greatest illusion you've ever believed? What if this sense of separation, the feeling that you are an isolated point drifting through a vast universe, is only a trick of perception, and the truth is far more unified, far more interconnected than you've ever imagined? Think about it. Every breath you take enters your lungs, then diffuses into your blood, becoming part of your body. But that same air was moments ago part of the trees, part of the atmosphere, part of the exhalation of another living being. The line where you and the world begins is not a clear boundary. It's porous, dynamic, and constantly shifting. The truth is that you are in constant exchange with the universe, a participant in one continuous flow. Yet most people live trapped in the illusion of being separate. They struggle because they think reality is out there, something to be controlled, fixed, or manipulated. They believe happiness will arrive once they've rearranged enough external pieces. But the quantum reality reveals something radically different. The external world is not separate from your internal state. They are two sides of the same coin. What you hold within, your thoughts, your emotions, your frequency, is inseparable from the reality that unfolds around you. This is why frustration feels so heavy. When you try to force reality to change without shifting your inner signal, it's like shouting at a mirror to smile first. You can stand in front of that mirror all day, demanding it change, but until you shift your own expression, nothing happens. The illusion of separation keeps you in a loop of trying to fix effects without touching the cause. But here is the liberation. Once you pierce through this illusion, you begin to understand that your reality is not something foreign, not something alien. It is you. The so-called outside world is a projection of your own vibrational state. And if that's true, then you are not powerless at all. You are profoundly responsible, profoundly creative. You no longer need to wait for the external to give you permission to change. You realize the shift begins within, and the outside simply follows. So pause for a moment. Feel into this. What if the entire universe were not separate from you, but arising with you as you? What if the distance you perceive between yourself and your dreams is not real distance at all, but a veil of perception? The quantum shift starts here. In this recognition, there is no separation. The observer and the observed are one. The division was never there. It was only a thought, a belief. And when that illusion dissolves, you step into the deepest truth of all. You are already connected to everything you seek. From the moment you were old enough to understand language, you were taught to see life as a line. Past behind you, present where you stand, and future waiting somewhere ahead. Every school lesson, every cultural story, every motivational slogan reinforces this idea. Work hard today, and someday in the future, you'll arrive. This mindset feels so natural that we rarely stop to question it. But what if linear time is not the truth? What if it's only a useful story, one that keeps you waiting, one that keeps you chasing, but never quite arriving? The deeper reality revealed through the quantum lens is that all possibilities exist simultaneously. Every version of you, every outcome you long for, every dream you've held close to your heart, it's not in some faraway, later. It already exists now, right here in the field of infinite potential. The only reason you don't experience it is because your awareness is tuned to a different frequency. Think of it like radio stations. Right now, countless songs are filling the space around you. Some are jazz, some are classical, some are rock. But you only hear the one your receiver is tuned to. The others don't disappear. They remain invisible, inaudible, until you change the dial. Time works the same way. What you call future is not waiting years ahead of you. It is a station already broadcasting, already alive, right now. The only question is, will you change the dial of your consciousness to tune into it? This is why people often feel trapped in a cycle of hope and disappointment. They think, one day I'll get there. But one day never comes, because the field is responding not to their desires, but to their state of being. If your signal says, my dream is far away, then that's exactly the reflection you'll receive: distance, delay, tomorrow. And tomorrow never arrives, because tomorrow is always tomorrow. This is the subtle tyranny of linear time. It convinces you to keep building a bridge to your dreams as if they live on the other side of some great river. You collect tools, knowledge, experiences, hoping to construct the path. But what you don't see is that there was never a river to cross in the first place. Your dream reality is not out there in the future. It is vibrating right here, in the same now you're sitting in. The moment you let go of the obsession with, you start to realize the truth. Change is not about waiting for better circumstances. It is about embodying the frequency now. That is the real quantum leap, not from this moment to a future moment, but from one state of being to another, instantly. So ask yourself, how much of your life has been spent postponing your joy, your freedom, your abundance for some imagined tomorrow? And what if the trap was never time itself, but the belief that you must move through time to reach what is already present? The shift happens when you stop waiting and start being. Right here, right now. Imagine walking into a room and standing in front of a mirror. You frown at your reflection, hoping that if you stare long enough, maybe the image will smile first. It doesn't matter how intensely you look, how much you beg, or how long you wait, the mirror won't change until you do. The reflection is not independent of you. It doesn't have a choice of its own. It is bound to respond to what you project. Now, take that metaphor and expand it to your entire life. Every circumstance, every person you meet, every opportunity or obstacle. What if all of it is a mirror? What if reality itself is reflecting back the vibration of your consciousness with the same unwavering fidelity as glass reflecting your face? This is not an abstract spiritual idea. It's a fundamental principle of the quantum field. Consciousness is not separate from the world around you. The thoughts you repeatedly think, the emotions you habitually feel, the beliefs you cling to, these form the frequency that the universe responds to with precise accuracy. If you carry fear, lack, and doubt inside, the mirror of reality cannot help but show you experiences that match those patterns, not as punishment, but as a perfect reflection. This is why you can't fake it. You can say all the affirmations you want, but if deep down you're radiating scarcity, the mirror doesn't lie. It reflects exactly what you are broadcasting. And here's the key: the mirror doesn't have preferences. It doesn't judge you, doesn't hold grudges, doesn't decide what you deserve. It simply reflects. You smile, the mirror smiles. You radiate confidence, the mirror reflects opportunities. You project lack, the mirror returns more waiting, more distance, more struggle. For many people, this is a hard truth to face. It's much easier to blame circumstances, luck, or other people. But that blame keeps you powerless. The moment you recognize life as a mirror, you reclaim your power. Because suddenly, you realize you're not at the mercy of what shows up. You are the one giving the signal that determines what appears. Think about how radical this is. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" the more empowering question becomes, "What signal am I sending that life is reflecting back?" This question alone shifts you from victim to creator, from confusion to clarity. It shows you that the key to transformation is not out there in the reflection. It's in the source. It's in you. So, if you want your reflection to change, don't fight the mirror. Don't waste energy trying to rearrange the images you see. Instead, shift the energy you're radiating. Choose a new vibration. Generate gratitude before circumstances demand it. Embody abundance before the bank account proves it. Smile before the mirror smiles back. Because reality is not imposing itself on you. It is faithfully mirroring who you are being. And once you see this, you hold the power to change everything. Most people spend their lives trapped in an endless dialogue with the world, arguing with circumstances, debating with challenges, wrestling with things they cannot control. But very few stop to realize that the most important conversation is not the one you're having with others. It's the one you're having with yourself. That dialogue shapes your reality before you ever step into the world. Think about it. Every action you take, every risk you embrace, every dream you pursue is filtered through the story you tell yourself. If that inner dialogue whispers, "You're not ready," you'll fail. Then you'll hesitate, shrink back, and sabotage your own steps. The external world doesn't even need to stop you. Your own voice has already done the job. But here's the profound truth: you are not stuck with the voice you inherited. You can rewrite it. You can choose to create an inner dialogue that uplifts, strengthens, and expands you. And when that shift happens on the inside, the outside world cannot help but mirror it. Pause for a moment and ask yourself, what words do I allow to echo in my mind most often? Are they words of possibility or words of limitation? Are you reminding yourself of your potential or rehearsing your fears? Because the dialogue you allow is not neutral. It is planting seeds, and those seeds eventually grow into your lived reality. This is why awareness is everything. Start listening to the way you speak to yourself. Notice the subtle tones, the quiet doubts, the hidden criticisms. And when you catch them, don't simply push them away. Replace them. Speak back to yourself as you would to someone you love. Tell yourself the truth, that you are capable of more than you've been led to believe, that failure is not final, that the story isn't over yet. Understand this: the mind is not an enemy to conquer, but a partner to guide. It listens, it responds, it becomes what you consistently feed it. If you tell yourself often enough that you are resilient, you will find resilience rising in moments of difficulty. If you remind yourself daily that opportunities are unfolding, you'll begin to see doors where before you saw only walls. The power of inner dialogue is not about pretending. It's about aligning your words with the deeper truth of who you really are. Beneath the fear, beneath the doubt, beneath the noise, you are limitless. You are connected to something far greater than circumstance. And the more you speak from that place, the more the outer world bends to match it. So, begin where you are. The next time doubt whispers, answer back with courage. The next time fear speaks, answer with faith. Make the dialogue with yourself the most empowering conversation you have. Because when you change the words you speak inside, you change the life you live outside. Most people live as if their thoughts are the only reality. From the moment they wake up, the mind starts running. Lists of what to do, regrets of yesterday, worries about tomorrow. It's a relentless stream, a chatter that never seems to stop. And because it is constant, people assume it's the truth. They never question it. They never pause long enough to see that beneath all that noise, there exists something infinitely deeper. This is the paradox: the more you identify with the chatter, the more trapped you become. Thoughts are not the problem. It's mistaking them for who you are that imprisons you. You are not the voice. You are the awareness hearing the voice. You are the field in which thought arises. And when you recognize this, you open a door into stillness. Stillness is not emptiness. It's not a void. It's the fertile ground of pure potential, the canvas where new realities are painted. It's the place where creation begins. The mind is like the waves on the surface of the ocean, always moving, crashing, noisy. But stillness is the depth beneath those waves, calm, expansive, limitless. The most extraordinary breakthroughs in life don't come from forcing the mind harder. They come when the noise quiets, when clarity rises from stillness. Think about moments of inspiration you've had, ideas that seemed to arrive out of nowhere, solutions that appeared when you stopped trying so hard. Those moments didn't come from endless mental struggle. They came from silence, from the field beneath thought. But here's the challenge: entering stillness requires courage. It means stepping away from distraction, letting go of the need to constantly consume, constantly react, constantly fill the silence. For many, silence feels uncomfortable, even threatening, because in that quiet space, you meet yourself. You encounter the truth you've been avoiding. But it is only there, in the still field of awareness, that transformation becomes possible. When you touch that space, even for a moment, you realize something powerful. You are not bound by the past. You are not chained to old stories. You are free to choose again, to align with a new frequency, to call in a new reality. Because in stillness, the old timeline dissolves and a new one emerges. This is not about escaping thought, but about transcending it. Use thought as a tool, but don't let it rule you. Step into the still field beneath the chatter, and you'll find a power greater than any fear, any doubt, any limitation. That field is always here, waiting. You don't have to create it. You only have to enter it. So pause. Breathe. Notice the silence between your thoughts. That space is who you are. That silence is where everything new begins. And the more time you spend there, the more you realize the noise doesn't define you, the stillness does. From the time you were young, the culture trained you in one way. Push harder, grind longer, force your way to success. The story is simple. If you just keep striving, if you just build piece by piece, someday you'll arrive. And so people spend their lives climbing a ladder, step after step, believing effort alone will carry them to their dreams. But in the quantum field, the rules are different. Here, force is not the currency, frequency is. You don't climb to your dream, you tune to it. You don't drag it into existence by sheer willpower. You align yourself with the vibration of already having it, and then reality bends to meet you. Think of a radio. If you want to hear a song, you don't scream at the radio. You don't try to force the music out of static. You simply turn the dial until the frequency of the station matches what you want to hear. The moment you align the frequency, the song is already there. You didn't create it, you revealed it. This is how dreams work. Your vision is already alive in the quantum field, vibrating at a certain frequency. If you're tuned to fear, doubt, or lack, you won't hear it. You'll only hear static. But when you begin to embody gratitude, confidence, and clarity, you rise into resonance with the frequency of your dream. And once you do, it appears, not as magic, but as alignment. This is why some people hustle endlessly, yet never move closer, while others seem to attract opportunities with ease. It's not that one works harder than the other. It's that one is operating through force, while the other is aligned with frequency. Now, this doesn't mean you sit back and do nothing. Action is still essential, but the quality of action changes. Forced action drains you, leaves you exhausted, and often pushes the dream further away. Aligned action, on the other hand, feels lighter, inspired, almost effortless. It flows, doors open, people appear, synchronicities unfold. Because you're no longer trying to drag reality into shape. You're letting reality mirror the vibration you've chosen. So ask yourself, what frequency am I living in today? Am I vibrating with scarcity, frustration, and pressure? Or am I vibrating with trust, creativity, and expansion? Because the answer to that question determines what life can reflect back to you. Here's the shift. Stop obsessing over the ladder, the grind, the endless climb. Instead, become conscious of your vibration. Cultivate the state of being that matches the life you desire. Choose joy before circumstances demand it. Live in abundance before the bank balance proves it. Embody love before it arrives at your door. When you stop relying on force and start choosing frequency, life stops being an exhausting climb. It becomes resonance, alignment flow. You don't conquer your dream, you become it. And once you are it, it has no choice but to show up. Most people walk through life believing they are merely spectators, watching circumstances unfold, reacting to events, hoping that somehow life tilts in their favor. They see themselves as passive observers, caught in a movie where they don't control the script. But the truth is far more radical. Your very act of observing is not passive at all, it is creative. The way you see, the attention you give, the lens you use doesn't just reflect reality, it shapes it. This is the essence of the observer effect in quantum physics. The outcome of an experiment shifts, depending on how it is observed. Consciousness is not separate from the world. It is woven into the fabric of reality itself. That means you are not sitting in the audience of life. You are on the stage, directing every scene through the focus of your awareness. The cage is the belief that you are powerless, that life is happening to you. It is the illusion of separation, that events unfold independently of your participation. But once you see the truth, the cage dissolves. You realize every thought you hold, every story you repeat, every expectation you nurture is a creative act. You are not reacting to life, you are generating it. Think about this in your own experience. Have you ever noticed how when you expect rejection, you often find it? When you anticipate failure, the world seems to arrange itself to confirm your fear. That isn't coincidence, it's resonance. Your observation becomes a lens that filters reality until it matches your expectation. You don't just see the world as it is, you see the world as you are. And here lies the power. The moment you change the way you observe, the movie shifts. If you enter a situation looking for opportunity, your attention will highlight doors that were invisible before. If you observe with gratitude, suddenly life begins to show you reasons to feel grateful. If you hold a vision of possibility, reality cannot help but bend toward it. This isn't about wishful thinking, it's about reclaiming authorship. You were never meant to live in the cage of passivity. You were meant to live as a creator, one who recognizes that consciousness itself is the brush painting the canvas of experience. So the question becomes, how are you observing right now? Are you trapped in the cage of fear, expecting the worst, watching life through the narrow lens of limitation? Or are you stepping into your role as a conscious creator, choosing to observe with faith, with clarity, with bold expectation? Because the truth is this: you don't have to wait for life to change before you change how you observe it. The moment you shift the lens, the movie begins to transform. The cage dissolves, and you step, not as a spectator in someone else's play, but as the creator of your own reality. Most people believe change takes time, that transformation is some distant horizon waiting for them, if they just push long enough, fight hard enough, endure a little longer. They wait for the right opportunity, the right season, the right sign. And in that waiting, life slips by. But the quantum field doesn't operate on the timeline of the clock. It responds in the instant you decide. This is the paradox. You think you need years to become who you're meant to be, but the truth is you only need a moment. A single moment of full alignment. A single decision made without hesitation. Because the field is not measuring time, it's reading frequency. And the instant your frequency shifts, reality begins to mirror it. Not later, now. Think about the most pivotal changes in your life. They weren't gradual drips stretched over decades. They were decisions. The moment you walked away from what no longer served you. The moment you said yes to a risk, even though fear trembled in your chest. The moment you chose courage instead of comfort. In an instant, your entire trajectory bent toward a new future. That is the power of the immediate quantum shift. It doesn't wait for conditions to line up. It doesn't ask for permission. It doesn't bargain with your doubts. It only requires that you step in fully, without hesitation, without half measures, without clinging to the old timeline. The moment you decide, I am this now, the field responds, the reflection changes, the door opens. But here's the trap: hesitation kills the shift. If you declare a new reality but secretly hold on to the old one, just in case, the frequency is divided and the mirror stays foggy. The field cannot respond to indecision. It only reflects clarity. That's why the shift feels like a leap, because it is. It's stepping into the unknown with both feet, burning the bridge behind you, refusing to look back. And here's the beauty. The shift doesn't need to be dramatic. You don't have to uproot your life overnight. Sometimes the shift is quiet but absolute, like a deep inner knowing that from this moment forward, you will live as the person you were always meant to be. The outer changes will follow, but the inner decision is instant. So ask yourself now, what are you waiting for? What dream have you been postponing for? Someday? What truth have you been hiding from behind the excuse of time? Because the field is not waiting. It's responding in this very moment to who you are being. And if you want to know when the right time is to step into your new timeline, the answer is simple: the time is now. Not tomorrow. Not next year. Not when conditions are perfect. Now. Because the shift doesn't happen later. The shift happens the moment you decide. And that moment is already here.